It's fat to fit. It's fat to fit. Rob Barringer is going fat to fit. He's really, 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 really fat, but soon he'll be fit because it's fat to fit. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the second episode of Fat to Fit. My last episode went down quite well with the community, and you've all given me a lot of motivation, and you've all given me some, really nice and inspiring comments and stuff like that, so I figure I may as well just continue. I'm not going to lie to you, I do feel quite sick today. I think I've got the cold or the flu or something, or some kind of seasonal virus going around. I'm not too sure what I have. All I know is that I feel like death warmed up using a nuclear missile. But Rob, why are you wearing that new hat? Good question, Quidditch player. It's because my hair represents the Amazon rainforest and I don't want to disgust you by getting it out on camera. So today I thought that I'd go through my exercise routine that I'm currently doing to condition my legs and make me a better player. I will start running soon, but at the moment I don't have any running trainers, and because I live in South East London there's not much grass near me, you see, so I basically have to run on concrete, so my studs aren't going to work that well because concrete is quite hard. Trying to do exercise outside in South East London is horrible because there's never any grass anywhere. When I was a kid we used to go around my friend Martin's house and play on his drive because his mum never used to kill the weeds, and it was the closest thing we ever got to a proper football pitch. So as soon as I get my trainers, I'll be out there banging away at the running and all that kind of stuff. So I'll probably take you out there. So the way today's basically going to work is I'm going to take this camera right here and I'm going to take you through my exercise routine. And I'm going to tell you what I do and why I do it. And how it helps me and how it stops my muscles burning within 30 seconds of playing.
Okay, so this is the blog station. This is basically where I do all of my videos and recording and stuff like that. The first thing I do when I do exercise is I do some press-ups. And at the moment, the dog's here, she's just laying there. She's a bit sick, so what's that? Oh, fuck's sake. See a penny? Pick it up. She's been having some money. At the moment, my dog is sick, so she's in the space where I'd normally do press-ups. But yeah, I'd normally just go down here, and I'm not that fit. I'm not going to lie to you. My arms aren't that strong, and I do weigh a lot, so I can't do many push-ups. And I try to make sure I do the technique properly, making sure your nose touches the ground and stuff like that. And normally I can do about 7 until I'm about to collapse. So that's what I tend to do. My arms feel like they've had a good workout. They are beginning to get a bit of definition to them, and they are getting slightly stronger. I was only able to do 5 when I first started about a month ago, and now I can do 7, which isn't much really when you think about, fit people and how many press-ups they can do. But, still, it's an improvement, and it's slowly getting there. After I've done push-ups, I come over here, which is just at the foot of my bed, and then I do sit-ups. And the sit-ups are a lot easier than the push-ups, to be honest, because sitting is always a lot more easier than holding your entire weight on your arms. So I basically do 30, and I used to be able to do 15, now I can do 30, which is, again, quite good. Isn't, like, amazing or anything, but it's still quite good. And I basically do 30 because that's the point at which my muscles in my abdomen begin to tense up and kind of vibrate and tense and spasm and stuff like that. And if I were to do it any longer, then I would probably pull muscles in my abdomen, which is really not what I want. And then after that, I come over here and I move this. This is a vacuum, by the way. I don't use it, my mum does. This is where I do some leg exercises, and this is where the first bit of magic happens with the legs. You basically put your ass against the wall, put your back flat against the wall, put your feet out in front of you, and then make your legs go down so that your legs are at a 90-degree angle. No, that's not it. That's a bit better. And then you have to hold that for 30 seconds. And what that basically does is it tones up your legs and it gets them used to taking a large amount of weight. And then after you've done your 30 seconds, you get up, you walk around for another 30 seconds, you go back to the wall, you do 30, you come up for 30, then you go back for another 30, and then after that your legs feel absolutely knackered. Let's just have a look at my leg. Look at this. Look at that thigh. Yeah. You see that? That used to be like that, but now it's like that. And if you look really closely, hang on a minute. Oh, you can't see it. You can't see the muscle, but trust me, there's muscle there. It's like, if I got the light correctly, hang on a minute, let's try and see if we can get some light on it. No, wait, hang on a minute. Oh no, I can't see it. Right, well when the shadow looks really good, I look really, really, really fit, but the shadow's not being good to me today, so I'll just walk away in shame and show you the exercise bike. So here's the exercise bike. It's in the living room. The seat's too far down for me, but I'll take you through it just initially. Right, so this is what I do. I get on this. So this is what I basically do. I get on this about 2 minutes after I've done my leg exercises, and then I basically do a mixture of endurance and sprint. I do it for 30 minutes, which might not sound very long, but after you've done those leg exercises, your legs are basically really, really tired, and when you then go on the bike, it really gets you used to that kind of stamina and endurance mentality of where your legs ache and you just have to like power through it. So that's why I basically do those leg exercises before I come on this. And I set it to 30 minutes. And then everything else can fuck off. And then I'll press start, and then I'll put it up to the 7th difficulty. I get it up to 96 RPM, and I never drop below that. 96 is really good because it's kind of fast, and you know it works your legs, but it doesn't overwork them. It doesn't make you in crippling pain or anything like that. And then after 4 minutes, I then do 1 minute of what I call sprint, which isn't really a sprinting, it's just increasing the RPM by 10. So I then go up to 105 and I try and keep it above 105. So when it gets to 26, I up the ante to 105 RPM on the same difficulty. Then when it gets to 25, I come back down to 95. Then when it gets to 21, I go back up to 105. And I keep doing that cycle basically for the entire 30 minutes. So it's basically 6 cycles of 4 minutes 95 RPM and then 1 minute 105 RPM. And it knackers you by the end of it, but that's part and parcel of trying to get fit.
So there you have it. If you've been wondering what I do when I do my exercises at the moment, then now you have a very clear, concise and distinct idea of what I actually do. You might be thinking, Rob, why do you only work on your thighs? Why is it that you only do those leg exercises where you're up against the wall and you don't do anything for the lower part of your legs? Well, I'll tell you. It is a kind of embarrassing story though, so you must promise not to laugh because I don't tell many people about this. When I was a child, I watched Jurassic Park. And if any of you have ever seen Jurassic Park or are fans of dinosaurs, you'll know that there's a dinosaur called the Velociraptor, which is basically the best dinosaur. There's no dinosaur that's better than the Velociraptor. T-Rex is big, yeah, and it looks cool, but it's not fast, and it doesn't have as good sight and stuff like that. And then you got the Diplodocus that just eats fucking leaves. Who gives a shit about them? And then you've got like a Stegosaurus, which I don't even know what one that is. That's like one with like a hammer on the end of its tail or something. And then you have Triceratops, which is cool, but it's basically just a rhino with spikes. So the Velociraptor was like the coolest one out of all of them. So there's Rob Barringer at school. He's like 6 or 7 or something like that, probably even a bit younger. And I thought, I know what I want to be when I'm older. I want to be a Velociraptor. So what do? Well, you start acting like the Velociraptor, don't you? I tried to run like a Velociraptor. So what I do was, this is like a normal foot, right? I'd just go on my tiptoes, because that's how they like run, right? That's how most dinosaurs ran back in the day. So I'd go on my tiptoes. And I continue to do this. I'm not lying. I continue to do this for years and years and years. Everywhere I went, I wasn't necessarily running, but I'd be on my tiptoes because I wanted to be a Velociraptor. So I'd be walking down the road thinking, one day I'm going to be a Velociraptor. I'm going to fuck people up. I'm going to get scales and shit. And basically, because I was always walking like that, it really built up and really defined the muscles in my lower leg. So basically, I've always had really, really, really well-conditioned lower legs. It's always been my thighs that's always been the problem. So there's my dirty little secret about why my lower leg muscles are so incredibly fit and the rest of my body is so incredibly out of shape. Because I walk like a Velociraptor and eat like a sloth. Now, I've been thinking about what I want my end stage of fitness to be, what the end point's going to be, what the goal is, what I want to work towards. And the more I think about it, the more I think that it would be apt to have it related to Quidditch. So, instead of saying I'm going to be this way or I'm going to be this amount of fitness, I've decided that I'm going to be a snitch. Yes, I want to be a snitch. The reason I want to be a snitch is because snitches actually don't get the respect and the kudos that they should. They are incredibly fit and they are constantly being badgered. You know, there's not really any other position in Quidditch that has to put up with as much crap as the snitches do. When you're a chaser, you get tackled by one person, but you can brace yourself for that tackle. You won't have two people tackling you at one time. You don't have to keep one side of you constantly facing two different people. So it is more difficult to be a snitch. You have to be more nimble, you have to be more agile, you have to be strong, you have to be able to throw people, to use momentum and weight in your favour. Being a snitch is an incredibly tough job. Not to mention the long distance running and the cross country kind of aspect to it, and having to hide and having to fend people off and keep your eyes on everything at once. So basically being a snitch is an incredibly difficult thing to do. So I think that it would be a really good idea to try and aim to be a good snitch. And then that way, once I do become a good snitch, if I become a good snitch, that shows that I've got past the stage where my fitness negatively impacts my performance on pitch. So being a snitch is kind of like, it has two aspects to it. You have to have the stamina, but you also have to have the speed and the kind of endurance to it as well. So that's why I think I want to become a snitch. Not necessarily, you know, to be a snitch or to be the UK's best snitch or anything like that, but just purely for the fitness aspect. Because that's going to be the best way to get my fitness up, and that's going to be a goal where I can actually improve and take tips from other people, and I can analyse the way in which I snitch and the way in which I, you know, kind of run or use my momentum or the kind of direction I take and the way I kind of like pivot on one foot. You know, all of these kind of really small, subtle details that are going to make me a better player once I perfect them. I've now fast forward 5 days. I'm wearing this waistcoat and tie set up because I've basically just been to an interview and I've just got back and I'm quite tired. So my weight now is 20 stone and 4 pounds, which means that I've lost 3 pounds since my last video because I was 20 stone and 7 pounds in that one. I've also decided that, considering I want to be a snitch, I'll probably try to be a snitch for the Northern Cup. Because obviously my team won't be able to come because we're London and we're in the South and we're going to the Southern Cup. But if I can snitch at the Northern Cup, or at least attempt to snitch at the Northern Cup, at least stay on court for about 5 minutes, then at least that's going to be a good amount of experience for me to kind of progress in my kind of snitchy ways and be more nimble on my feet and be more agile. A bit like Ashley Cooper, to be honest. It would be nice if I could catch a ball and do a little pirouette and continue my movement and my motion and then just make a beeline straight for the hoops and then just smash the ball in. It would be lovely if I could get to that kind of stage, and I think trying to be a snitch would probably help me get there. So yeah, I'm probably going to snitch at the Northern Cup, or ask if I can snitch. Whether they let me snitch or not is a different matter entirely, but I'm going to ask if I can snitch at least. Oh yeah, and there's that whole European regionals thing that Oxford won, which basically makes them the champions now, which ain't too shoddy. It does kind of show that they are good, more than good. They are the best, which is a little bit better than good, because it means that nobody is better than them, you see. So that's how that works. So congratulations to Oxford. I believe you only lost on the snitch catch as well, so it isn't like you got absolutely bum rushed. So yeah, that's quite good. Congrats. Let's see, anything else? No, I don't think so. Nothing interesting going on in my life. To be honest, I'm just a bit depressed because I just went for this interview and it didn't go too well. Didn't go badly, but it didn't go too well. And I'm just kind of moping about now. The entire world can fuck off. I'm just at the kind of stage where I'm just looking out of the window and thinking, see you world, you can fuck off. I'm at the kind of stage where I'm looking outside and I see the birds singing and the leaves rustling, children playing, dogs barking, parents strolling hand in hand, and I just think, fuck off. All of you, just fuck off. Just, why is everybody so happy? It's the worst thing when people are happy and you're not, because it's just like, oh, isn't life precious for you? That's really good that you can afford to go into the city and meet your friends. Oh, that's really nice that you can afford to go out for a meal. Anyway, so that's my life right now. Southern Cup's coming up. I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'll probably look forward to it a bit more when I wake up and I'm not in such a foul mood. So yeah, thanks for watching, as always. I very much appreciate it. Episode 3 will probably drop either next week or the week after that, probably around a Wednesday. That's probably when I will aim to drop most of my videos, to be honest. So yeah, thanks for watching.